So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to continue with my explained video series where I'm trying to explain the most basic spiritual tools and phenomenons that might be a bit confusing for some people. And today I will be describing my own opinions and views about tarot cards. So many people that I know who are just starting to get more spiritual and things like that, I have noticed that they can be very fearful towards tarot cards, and they might sometimes feel like they may give you some horrible answers, and in our subconscious mind we may have these different ideas from religions and stuff like that, where tarot cards are thought of being dangerous and anything like that. But from my own experience, I have noticed that this is not true whatsoever. And for example, I have 6 different tarot cards. Most of my tarot cards are actually from Doreen Virtue, because I really enjoy the cards because they are very loving and they have very encouraging and wise messages. Like for example, like ones that I have found really good now are Sonia Choquette's Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose Oracle cards. These I have found very accurate and insightful and given many answers to me. And also you can get very straight answers from Archangel Michael cards from Doreen Virtue. And then, for example, these Magical Mermaids and Dolphins cards are more playful and happy and kind of like dreamy. But these kind of cards are also very good, and they go well with different situations, and I usually use different cards for different people when I'm reading tarot cards for them, depending on their energy and what kind of message they would need in that situation. And you would just pick the deck by your intuition, and it gets better and better the more you use the cards and your intuition, and more you start trusting yourself and your guidance. So because everything you read and everything you learn from your tarot cards goes straight into the subconscious mind, and if the tarot cards have like a scary meaning, scary pictures or anything like that, I would not want anything like that in my subconscious mind, nor in your subconscious mind, because as I have said before, we create our reality but with our thoughts. So if our tarot cards are basically very fearful, then that really alters the way we think about things. So, for example, one of my favorite tarot cards at the moment is Doreen Virtue's Magical Mermaids and Dolphins. And how I use tarot cards is basically, if I have a question, I'll just shuffle the cards. Like something like, what would be the message for the people who will today or whenever watch this video about tarot cards? And then I will just intuitively stop shuffling cards when I feel like it. And now, for example, I got 2 cards that are, one is Playtime and one is Father Healing. And usually these tarot cards have some kind of small wisdom or something like affirmation or something like that under the card, and it gives like an idea what this card may want to entail, or what your higher selves and your angels would like you to know today, or somehow think about this situation where you're in. Even though it's very easy, and I would recommend using like these little books that come with the card packs, the most important thing about tarot cards is that it can really increase your own intuition if you let it be like that. And when you're reading tarot cards, don't get too caught up in the specific meaning that it has in the instruction book or guidebook, but also go with your own intuition, because in this way you will actually develop skills for later on that will actually transform into your life in other areas and ways too. But it isn't in no way necessary for developing psychic abilities or anything like that. You can have amazing telepathic and psychic and intuition skills without having any tarot cards. But for many people, it's an easy way to start training their intuition. Best thing about tarot cards, in my opinion, is that when you're in a tough situation, or you would just like to have general guidance, you will draw a card, and this card kind of forces you into thinking of things from another perspective. And this kind of mental stimulation gives you really new kind of tools in life in general of how to shift your perspectives on different things. There really isn't a wrong answer, and in a way that we understand it, but the most important thing about tarot cards is to keep your mind open to all possibilities, because if you want to have a specific kind of answer, then that will affect the card that you will draw, and sometimes the card that you will draw will actually is more a tip towards your attitude. And there is nothing to be afraid with these cards. You cannot draw wrong cards. It's always the right one. And I don't really think that you can get wrong answers either. The answers always reflect something that you know already, or can bring an insight or an aspect to the situation that you are not aware or you're not paying that much attention to. What I would recommend if you're using tarot cards, that very important is that when you're shuffling the cards for yourself or someone else, the energies in the cards will start getting mixed up. And it's very important every now and then to just cleanse the cards some way. For example, I usually use, because I'm a Reiki master, so I use Reiki symbols on cards, and I will ask archangels and my higher selves to purify the cards to get most accurate results. And one that Doreen Virtue's card decks usually recommend is that every time you shuffle your cards, you would put the cards on your left hand, which is usually the recessive hand, and you would knock on it, kind of like to clean out all the unnecessary energy, and then you can shuffle it with like open and clear energies, and you will get more accurate answers. One thing that you should be careful of is that you would not get too attached to cards in a way that you will start asking every single thing from your cards, like what should I eat today? Of course you can ask it to like just for fun without non-attachment style, but generally like use cards for questions that you actually really mean, and when the cards give you an answer, really pay attention to that answer, even though it wouldn't be what you actually necessarily wanted or expected, because it may open up yourself to new ways of thinking the whole situation, which may actually sometimes bring out great results later on if you are able to open up in your mind. For example, now when I got these two cards for my viewers, I would first start to get a clear idea of what the message would be without the little booklet, and then I would go for the booklet and try to fill in some holes or see if they would bring a new kind of idea to the table. For example, I'm getting an idea, for example, because this question was basically for my viewers about tarot cards and things like that. So the card that came up was playtime, and it says, the dolphins know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So what I get from these cards related to this question is that basically tarot cards and playing with your intuition should be fun, and the more you play and enjoy your intuition and the kind of messages that you're getting through, the better your manifestations and also your insights will be. And it makes perfect sense. And then I would just go for this booklet here, and I would see what it says about this thing. And this card is actually a bit more complex, Father Healing. And first you would maybe like, well, this is a wrong reading, like it doesn't really make any sense, right? Because Father Healing, what does it have to do with tarot cards? But your personal power increases as you give any father related issues to heaven. And the idea, what I get from this, is that basically male energies and father energies are connected with power and increased empowerment towards yourself and other people in your life. And the tarot cards can be used to empower yourself and trusting yourself. But this is also the kind of, I think that this also is related to religion and authorities in our childhood and in our society, who determine for us what we think about things. And we should heal this part of ourselves and really start searching for things ourselves and empowering ourselves, and not just going with authorities because they are authorities. And this relates well with tarot cards because it's especially a subject that people have high judgments and expectations towards, but not many people actually have tried it themselves. But when you actually try them, you're kind of like healing yourself and the things that you have against authorities and things like that tell us what to do. And instead of listening to them, you will start listening to yourself and your higher guidance, which is the real authority. And I know what this booklet says about this card, and it is not very much the thing that I said, but it is what came through me. So this is how you can really intuitively develop your skills with tarot cards. And for example, now combining two of these, like, okay, be playful with your manifestation in your tarot cards, be like happy and joyful towards this topic, but also this is a good way for you to empower yourself and learn to trust the real authorities that is actually your higher self and the God within you. So very healing message about tarot cards today for you. So yeah, this is for today. If you have any questions of tarot cards or the tarot card decks that I have or anything like that, then please do not hesitate to ask. I would love to help you in anything. So namaste, have a beautiful day, shine your light, and see you next time.